for each of the presiding officers. I will do the narration, and he will do the actual anointing. As Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet anointed Solomon king over Israel, so I anoint you, using a trowel, installing officers, anoint Christ, potent master, sovereign prince, most wise master, and commander-in-chief in succession. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like a precious ointment upon the head, as he anoints Christ, potent master. Ointment and perfume make the heart glad. So does the sweetness of a man's friend by healthy counsel, as he anoints the sovereign prince. Let him reprove me. It shall be a foil upon the head. Let not my heart refuse it, as he anoints the most wise master. And as the dew of the current, and as the dew what was descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore, as he anoints the commander-in-chief. And as now the marshal presents the sword. And now I install all of you. Christ, potent master of Mercer Lodge of Perfection, 3-5 and 7-9. Sovereign Prince and Commercial Council of Princes of Jerusalem, 4 and 1. As the most wise master of Trenton chapter of Rose Croix, 6 and 1. And as Commander-in-Chief of Trenton Consistory, 1 and 4. Now as he exchanges the sword for 4 gavels, you will all receive your gavels. Receive now the gavel, the emblem of Masonic authority, which you are all to exercise with impartiality. And now, with all of the officers, I would like to make the following. All other incoming officers will arise and assume the charges of your office. My brothers, you assent to these charges justifies the confidence your brethren have reposed in you. You have not advanced to this present rank in the right without a full knowledge of the duties and responsibilities of your office. The honor, reputation, and usefulness of Scottish Rite Mason will chiefly depend upon the mode and manner in which you discharge these duties. You are to arouse the indolent, encourage the despondent, and inspire the unreflecting, so that the influence of Freemasonry shall be felt beyond the limits of the lodge, among society and among humanity. Admonish your brethren of their duty to act and behave, that they may bring no discredit or reproach upon themselves or the Rite. Charge them to practice out of the lodge the duties taught within it, and by their honesty, equity, and regard for truth and honor, to convince all who know them of the true work of Masonic principles. Your office is not only one of honor, but also of labor and responsibility. The first duty as a presiding officer is always to show impartiality. Your second duty is to maintain that equity among all your brethren, which should always, your among Masons, and wealth, rank, or social position should never distinguish one Mason from another. Every brother of the Rite is your peer and is entitled to equal consideration. The possession of a title is not indicative of superiority unless accompanied by superior knowledge and a greater capacity for doing good. Only that one learns and does in Masonry makes him superior to his brethren. And that superiority can be one of intellect and moral character only. May these bodies prosper under your care, and may their names ever be honored among Masons. And now, if the four presiding officers will attend with Mark up and receive their aprons and collars.
It's down there in the boxes. We're in wrong order. I'll be right back.
We're learning as we go. That's all.
Shows you what kind of year we're gonna have. Your apron. That's his apron. Oh, it's his apron. Oh, geez, we didn't have to say something. Sorry, I was bring up. Question in line. They killed my horse. Yeah. No
How cool is that?
All right, now if I could ask the four presiding officers to take seats up here with me, and the other officers to take their seats where they are. I would like to call on our past Commander-in-Chief to see if he would like to make any remarks before we have our proclamation.
Yes, sir. Brother Paul, it was a good year, as they say. The days are long, but the years are short. I came in last May without fire. Unfortunately, I don't believe I did anywhere near what I hoped to do. I look forward to assisting Russell Blaze in his endeavors. I strongly admonish anyone who is still working your way through line to be careful. You only have one master. You can be the Scottish Rite Mason, or you can be a lodge member. So when you have something happen on the same day, you belong to the shrine, you belong to the work bodies, you belong to the lodge, you have your positions. You can be one person a day. And unfortunately, we're related to be here. If it's something that the Scottish Rite is doing, it's something the body's doing, this is what we need to do. I congratulate all the incoming master, incoming presiding officers. I congratulate all the appointments. And thank you, officers.
Thank you. And now, I'm going to ask Mark to do the official proclamation.
If you please rise. To the glory of the Grand Architect of the Universe, in the name and under the auspices of the Supreme Council of Sovereign Grand Inspectors General of the 33rd and last degree of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry for the Northern Masonic jurisdiction of the United States of America, and by virtue of the authority upon me conferred, I declare and proclaim these elected and appointed officers duly installed and authorized to enter upon the discharge of their duties. Take due notice and govern yourselves accordingly.
Maybe all seated. That's the end of our installation for this evening, but before I turn it over to our Commander-in-Chief, our new Commander-in-Chief, I'm going to do this in reverse order. I was going to ask all the gentlemen to stand, but if you'd all be seated, could the ladies please stand up, please? You know, we work hard at our Scottish Rite and take a lot of time away from our personal lives to do that and offer an awful lot of service to a lot of people other than our families. To you ladies, I'd just like to say, and all of us would like to say, thank you. You are the backbone of this fraternity. You are a person by our side at all times as we go through this. And we'd just like to say thank you for allowing us the time. Thank you for allowing us what we do as Scottish Rite Masons. And we don't mean to take it away from our family, but in many cases, there's a lot of time that goes on. And we would just like, from the bottom of our Masonic hearts, to say thank you, and God bless you. And now, our portion of the ceremony is concluded, and now it gives me great pleasure to turn passage over to Brian Blades, our new Commander-in-Chief. And Commander-in-Chief, it's all yours.
Thank you, Brother Bob. First, let me say that this month, almost to the day, I've been a Scottish Rite Mason in the Valley of Central New Jersey for 48 years. Back in those days, when the membership was many, many times what it was now, it was something that you just couldn't aspire for. It was just through, hard work and many, many years of labor that you would ever get there. And there were many people who wanted to do that in front of you, so it was not very likely to progress. So it's delightful to me that I get to this position, and it'll be my honor to serve you in the coming year. And as Brother Bob got to say, I would like to recognize two of my mentors that I remember from those days. The first is Warren Beach, who I always looked on as a model for doing the Rose Croix degree. I always tried to emulate him, and he was quite a man. My second mentor, who I looked for doing the 16th degree, which we just did, was illustrious Brother Bob Livingston from Milltown Lodge, who's lived not too far from Philo. And I always tell people, back in those days, we'd meet at Bob's house, and we'd ride down Route 1, and there were no lights. So you can imagine how long that was. You don't get down Route 1 anymore without any lights. But we went to many practices that way, and it wasn't a problem. And it's an honor to be able to serve in this position for you. Other than that, I would just like to note that we have quite a few things coming up over the next couple of weeks. We have 3 Rite on the Road scheduled. The first one is tomorrow at Philo Lodge. The next one will be on June 14th at Navesink Lodge. And the third one will be on June 24th at the Paddock Cigar Club up in Woodbridge, which I'm sure our deputy is blessed at this point, and we hope it will be very successful. We are also considering which degree we're going to do for the reunion coming up in the fall. I'm working with Rick. I think we're leaning towards the 30th degree, but we did that a while ago, and it seemed to be well received. And it's also one of the degrees that we don't go to too often, so we're hoping to do that again. It was very popular. We attracted a lot of surrounding Scottish Rite Masons, so we hope we can do that. Other than that, that's all I have to say for now. And with that, I will close the bodies. To order, brother, on the sign of fidelity. To the glory of the grand architect of the universe, in the name and under the auspices of the Supreme Council of Sovereign Grand Inspectors General of the 33rd and last degree of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, for the Northern Masonic jurisdiction of the United States of America, and by virtue of the authority upon me conferred as Commander-in-Chief, I declare the works of Mercer Council of Perfection, Mercer Council of Princes of Jerusalem, Trenton Chapter of Rose Croix, and Trenton Consistory closed.